a sportsman for life, aims to reach the top of the mountain. A man who has dedicated himself to reaching the summit of his chosen field suddenly finds himself at the top. Through relentless hard work and dedication, Brave Combat Federation's Eldar Eldarov achieved his lifelong ambition of becoming a world champion in mixed martial arts. On April 19, 2019, Eldarov beat Munir Lazez and essentially made history. He became the first ever super lightweight champion of a global organization, a new weight class designed to give fighters more options and lessen the damages of weight cutting. As Eldarov saw the belt around his waist, he reflected on the hardships he encountered on the way to the top. But now that he had reached his promised land, what was next for him? Eldarov spent the year doing the second thing he likes to do more: coaching and mentoring young fighters. Under his leadership, KHK developed into the #1 team in the world, and the Kingdom of Bahrain achieved the highest spot in the amateur rankings. But while he was out collecting medals and achievements for Team Bahrain, new threats emerged to his reign. The likes of Isa Isakov, Juan Santiago, Benoit Saint-Denis had landmark wins and called for the king to defend his throne. However, Eldar's biggest threat is none other than Leonardo Mafra. In late 2020, Leonardo became a father for the first time. Since then, Mafra has doubled his hunger for glory. A veteran fighter, training with the biggest athletes in the world, under the guidance of one of the best coaches in MMA history. A man who has developed his game to become a well-rounded athlete, capable of inflicting damage from all positions and becoming a threat in all phases of a fight. A man that will leave no stone unturned in his quest to reach the top of the mountain already conquered by Eldar. As Brave Combat Federation makes its way to Russia for the first time on January 16th in association with Krepost Selection, Eldar Eldarov will return to action by headlining Brave CF 46 against the biggest menace to his title reign. All eyes will be on the world champion, who will have to prove he hasn't missed a beat with the time away from competition, and will have to do so on home soil, a task that is by no means an easy one. The pressure is on. Can Eldarov retain the world title he worked his entire life for, or will Mafra reach the top and push him off the select list of Brave CF world champions? This is the story of two men on a collision course for the highest of honors. One has reached the pinnacle of his profession. His opponent is the champion's biggest threat to date. At Brave CF 46, history will be made once again. Two men enter, but only one will leave with the crown and the spot on the highest of mountains. This is the road to Brave. Eldar Eldarov was born in Dagestan, Russia, a place where boys have no choice but to enroll in sports at a tender age. The tradition dictates that sports are almost mandatory for all boys, something that wasn't a struggle for young Eldar, who loved competition from a young age.
You know, there in Dagestan, usually when you have a son, but don't ask, will you send your son to the gym or something like this, to the sport? we ask which sport he will send him. Before I go to school, I go to the gym. My father brought me to the gym when I was 6 years old, and I went to school when I was 7.
It is no wonder that he grew up on the mats, first starting with karate and then moving on to wrestling, sambo, and judo. Since the age of 6, he has nurtured an ambition to become a world champion in sports. It was enrolled deep into his everyday activities, although he knew that there is life beyond sports. Hence why he has dedicated himself to acquiring a law degree whilst balancing his flourishing combat sports career.
My father was very strict to me about my schedule, and I finished university, law department of Dagestan State University, so I'm a lawyer also, and it was not just doing sport and that's it. I was studying in school and university, and then I was going to the gym and training. So this is how I grow.
In 2004, Eldarov made a move that would prove decisive for his career, as his older brother introduced him to none other than Abdul Manap Nurmagomedov.
He was born near the mountain, 2,000 meters above.
He left behind an immense legacy, including his son Khabib and Eldar Eldarov.
Его покойный брат учился с моим старшим сыном Магомедом. Они были очень близки, друзья. До Эльдара еще мы были со старшим братом знакомы. Они его привели ко мне. Он вначале, видимо, ходил на карате, махал руками, ногами. Он вырос среди хороших, талантливых, лучших бойцов мира. Это не может не сказаться на его классе. У Эльдара есть аналитический ум, ударная мощь. Он сейчас подготовлен хорошо, физическая мощь. Он, наверное, не проиграет почти никому из своих сверстников в этом весе, в физическом плане. Наша задача его поддержать, и его задача показать себя. А то, что у него будет успех, у меня даже сомнений нет в этом.
There is a saying that coach is a second father for athlete. This man was with me since I was in the school, and every important moment in my life he was with me. And until now, I feel result of his work, what he gave me. Until now, it helped me in my life, and it will help me all my life. Not only me. My students will get what I got from him, and they will give what I gave them. It's a legacy.
Under the guidance of Nurmagomedov, Eldar became a combat sambo world silver medalist and combat sambo Russian champion. The gold in the combat sambo world championship was a dream for Eldarov, who saw it turn into a nightmare when he broke his leg during the final match against his Ukrainian counterpart. After recovering, he transitioned into mixed martial arts, where he finally succeeded in his dream of becoming a world champion. But before that, he would make another choice that would change his career as well. A move to Bahrain at the invitation of none other than Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa.
Tonight we'll be witnessing a new milestone in Bahrain's continuous efforts in establishing itself as a hub for the sports of mixed martial arts. 8 professional fighters and more than 15 amateur fighters will be given the opportunity to join the first mixed martial arts team in Bahrain, known as KHK MMA Team.
Move to Bahrain was one of the best decisions in my life, I think. Because now I cannot imagine my life without my Bahraini brothers, Bahraini family, and the friends who I got there are really became part of my life. Like His Highness Sheikh Khalid, I can call him supporter, I have confidence that behind us there is a man who will support us in any situation.
One of the technical pillars of KHK MMA, Eldar also acts as the team's head coach. The teachings of Abdul Manap have helped Eldarov become one of the best coaches in the sport, and he's grateful for the lessons and for the chance to lead a team. However, his coaching duties are taking a step back as he resumes his professional career as eager as ever for competition. He is celebrating another milestone in his personal life, the birth of a second son, which will give him a much-needed boost in what is the biggest fight of his life.
Is a future, find an arrow, climb me home.
With me, my father, my teacher,
Paint the
my mentor.
picture of emotion.
Yes. Today is a day of relax, end of hard week.
Send me on my way.
We are doing sauna. There is cheat meal. During the week we do diet. End of the week we can eat. Full relax. These few hours we refresh our body.
You'll never be alone. Here among the stars is home away from home. Yeah. Tell the story of the forces that build your fire. You wait for silence.
For me, the best relax is when you are surrounded by your close people, family, friends. Today with me is my father, my small brother Chupan, my father Haji, my friends Amin, Mirza and Zaur. We grow together, my childhood friends, and this is usual end of week for me. When I enjoy, when I forget about training, fights, just enjoy with my family, with my friends, talk about something, not about sport, just, remembering old days, good days. This is our atmosphere.
Here among the stars is home away from home.
Ay. Ada. Today I lose. Today I lose, but January 16th, inshallah, I will win.
The great coach Abdul Manap said, Eldar, you are very clever for sportsman. In continuance of this topic, I want to say, more sportsmanship, more intelligence, and never take off the belt of champions.
Okay, will try my best to follow what you said. Yeah?
Try and try.
Today, end of relaxation, my friend Said doing for me cupping. It's it's little bit painful, but tomorrow morning I will feel fresh and full of energy. It's very good for blood circulation and really help, especially during fight camp. Every week I try to do this procedure.
Born in Russia and also representing the Kingdom of Bahrain, Eldarov will have the chance to defend his world title in his birthplace. The pressure will be on, as Eldar will look to maintain KHK MMA's world title where he feels it belongs. It will be a different setting for the champ, who will fight a true veteran of mixed martial arts and the most experienced foe of his career. Leonardo Mafra has always been tipped for greatness. From his early days plying his trade in the world-famous Shooter box, to his move to the United States to join renowned coach Rafael Cordero, his talent always spoke for him. Perhaps that is why Leonardo doesn't like to speak about himself. His growth and his maturing can be best described by his teammates, his wife Rafaela, and his masters. From going into a reality show in his early 20s to experiencing the highs and the lows of a storied martial arts career, Mafra finally feels at the right place at the right time. Eternally caught between two weight classes, Leonardo's fortunes changed when Brave Combat Federation opened the super lightweight division. The Brazilian striker always felt too small for welterweight and too big for lightweight. An intermediary weight class has reinvigorated his career.
If I'm right, but the first fight of which was a catchweight before, and I was hoping that they build and create this weight class because it's a right weight class for a lot of fighters who is too heavy for lightweight and too light for welterweight. So this is a perfect division. You know, this is a perfect division. It will be a very crowded division too. And I'm ready. I love that the idea to fight in a super lightweight division, 165. And I said, if you guys create, I will do my best to be the champion.
And the eagerness to finally fulfill his ultimate goal of becoming a world champion was in plain sight at Brave CF 25. In front of his home crowd, he produced a stunning performance. Outstriking, out-wrestling, and simply outsmarting fellow veteran Jamil Chan en route to a unanimous decision win. It was a much-needed victory for Leonardo, who called out Eldarov minutes after his arm was raised.
My mindset in the last 9 months was always focused on my goal. And my goal is to be the champion, and I knew anytime soon the title shot will happen and I want to be ready, and now here I am.
Fast forward to 16 months later, and he will get his wish to fight for a world title and potentially write his name in the history books. But that's not the only wish that Mafra fulfilled in a difficult year. Aside from fighter, son, and husband, Leonardo can now add father to his list of adjectives. He and his wife Rafaela had a baby in late 2020, the beautiful Bella. When Leonardo makes the walk in Russia, his heart will be thousands of miles away with Rafaela and Bella. But his mind will be set on reaching the highest of mountains, on conquering the biggest goal of his life, the Brave Combat Federation Super Lightweight World Title.
I always was a fighter looking for a knockout because that's how I learned. But now we managed to get to the knockout like in the best way possible, in a safer way possible. You know, we know how to fight in any area in MMA, and like that's what I tried to do, and I tried to do on my fights in Brave. Unfortunately, the first one I hurt myself, which things happen. Everybody know what can happen in an MMA fight. The other one I won against Jamil the way that I think that was the right way to do it. And now I will do the same. We always win the safest and the best way possible. And my strategy always will be looking for the knockout.
On January 16th, Brave Combat Federation, the fastest growing global organization in the world, will make its highly anticipated Russia debut. In the Olympic city of Sochi, in association with Krepost Selection, Brave CF has assembled an all-star cast featuring the best fighters in Russian MMA for a night that will change the sport forever in the region. In the main event, Eldar Eldarov, the big brother of Dagestani and Russian MMA, returns home to do battle and defend his super lightweight world title against top striker Leonardo Mafra. Eager to write his own rocky story and bring back a world title to his growing family. Their motivations might be different, but Eldar Eldarov and Leonardo Mafra have similar goals: to be the best in the world. This is their story. This is their road to brave.